Hello and a very good evening. You're now watching TVS English News at 5. Let's get into it. All eyes are on the passing of the 2021 budget. Observers are calling for members of parliament to put aside their differences and come up with a consensus to pass the proposed budget during the parliamentary voting session, expected to be held on November 25.
The budget is currently being debated in the Dewan Rakyat, and several MPs have threatened to vote it down unless amendments are made, such as the substantial investment made in the Special Affairs Department, JASA. Institute for Democracy and Economic Affairs Research Manager Lau Zeng Zhao said it is normal for MPs to take part in the debate and for changes to be reflected in the final budget document. However, he stressed that should the budget not be passed, it would have significant consequences on the country's political stability and its effectiveness in addressing the COVID-19 crisis. On the budget itself, the think tank believes that the key measures are balanced in its coverage of the vulnerable segment of the population, economic and business activities. Lau noted, however, that Budget 2021 fell short on providing a strong and clear direction as to how the country can prepare for an economic rebound or reset. Meanwhile, Maybank Investment Bank Berhad Chief Economist Suhaimi Ilyas said Budget 2021 was in line with the bank's expectations of an expansionary budget given the record-breaking total spending allocations of 322.5 billion ringgit. Suhaimi said revenue is expected to increase 4.2% to 236.9 billion ringgit in 2021, so the government has to finance the remaining shortfall through borrowings. According to Suhaimi, the economic growth outlook for next year is dependent on the COVID-19 pandemic developments, policy and politics. He added that the economy will likely recover in 2021 and the government is addressing the policy part of the budget coupled with accommodative monetary policy to support economic recovery.
Dato Sri Tiong King Sing expressed regret for his recent slur aimed at Health Director General Tan Sri Dr. Noor Hisham Abdullah in Parliament.
The Bintulu MP in his statement said he apologized for being too far when debating the country's 2021 budget. He added that it was never his intention to deny all sacrifices made by the doctors, nurses and other frontliners, including the Health Director General. The PDP president stated his intention was only to ensure the COVID-19 situation in the country could be managed better. Previously, Tiong stated that his remark on Dr. Noor Hisham was only a reflection of frustrations of frontliners facing the pandemic challenges, adding that he had no intention to maliciously target the Health Director General.
Tupong Assemblyman Fazruddin Abdul Rahman advised his constituents to utilize skills to assure their source of income during the pandemic.
Fazruddin said many have lost their jobs during this pandemic and some opting for unpaid leave. This has led to their source of income being affected. However, those who have skills such as baking or sewing can generate their source of income to accommodate their lives. According to Fazruddin, starting up businesses doesn't necessarily aim to gain big profit, but it is also to survive the pandemic. Through the program he is conducting, he said his administration will help provide places for the students to undergo online classes and many more.
Ngalu-ngalukan di kawasan saya bantu siapa sidak yang ada skill, yang ada skill, yang ada komitmen yang tinggi, kita bantu dari segi peralatan tu untuk setidaknya memulakan perniagaan lainnya secara kecil-kecilan. Perniagaan waktu tu bukannya untuk dapat untung besar, perniagaan untuk memastikan setidaknya dapat survive dalam COVID tu. Makanya antara penekanan program kami juga.
A cancer patient who tested positive for COVID-19 miraculously survived a fall from the 6th floor of the Likas Hospital building in Kota Kinabalu at 8:20 p.m. on Saturday after landing on the roof of the 3rd floor. The 64-year-old male patient suffered serious injuries in the incident, but fortunately firefighters managed to rescue him.
Jalan Lintas Fire and Rescue Station Chief Agustavia Jo Guasi said firefighters received an emergency call from the Malaysia Emergency Response Services before teams from the Jalan Lintas and Kota Kinabalu fire stations were deployed to the scene. Agustavia added the victim was given preliminary treatment by the Emergency Medical Rescue Services team before being brought down and handed over to the Women and Children's Hospital for treatment. According to a local report, Kota Kinabalu District Police Chief Assistant Commissioner Habibi Majinji said the victim was said to have been under immense stress, which led to his decision to jump off the building. Habibi added police are still investigating the incident and will record the victim's statement once his condition improves.
Welcome back. The United Nations is urging global efforts to develop and increase the production of effective vaccines against COVID-19.
UN Secretary-General Antonio Guterres during the ASEAN summit on Saturday said the vaccines should be available to and affordable for all individuals. Meanwhile, World Bank President David Malpass said $12 billion has been channeled to several client countries to buy the vaccines.
Health Director General Tan Sri Dr. Noor Hisham Abdullah said 1 in 2 patients in Malaysia do not know they had diabetes until a blood sugar screening was performed.
Dr. Noor Hisham said the majority of incidences of diabetes are preventable with good lifestyle habits, and with regular screening, the disease can be detected early. He said in a statement the ministry advised Malaysians to prevent and control diabetes through healthy lifestyle practices. In conjunction with World Diabetes Day, he added this can be practiced through a balanced diet, an active lifestyle, not smoking, cultivating a healthy mind, and avoid excessive alcohol consumption. Also, he said adherence to the treatment and advice of health professionals. He further said that adopting a healthier lifestyle will help control diabetes at an optimum level while preventing complications.
Malaysia exported 518,370 tons of palm oil to India in October, almost 32% more than the previous month's volume. The export comprised 511,672 tons of crude palm oil (CPO) and 6,698 tons of crude palm kernel oil or CKPO.
According to the Trade Group Solvent Extractors Association, India's edible oil imports last month totaled more than 1.22 million tons, representing an increase of 17.3% on September's volume. For the 12-month period starting November 2019, India imported 13.17 million tons of edible oil, including about 6.6 million tons of CPE, 421,000 tons of refined palm oil, and 130,000 tons of CKPO. Other top edible oils imported by India were soybean and sunflower oils.
A male tapir was found dead at Kampong Sri Sepuluh, Sungai Durian, Cenulang, Kuala Krai on Saturday after it was believed to have been hit by a vehicle. The carcass, weighing some 150 kilograms, was found by passersby at about 10 p.m.
Kelantan Department of Wildlife and National Parks Director Adi Ermanti Hanif Muhammad Hanif in a statement said the tapir was in search for food at a new location after its habitat have been converted into forest plantations. Commenting further, Adi Ermanti Hanif said the department will take the matter seriously as it involves protected species, adding that patrols will be carried out periodically to ensure wildlife do not go out onto the roads. As a precautionary measure, he said the wildlife will set traps near the area as an effort to save the animals. He suggested for the installation of street lights using electric or solar power to reduce the rate of accidents involving wildlife. Adi Ermanti Hanif also advised road users to exercise greater caution in the area, especially at night.
Tech entrepreneur Elon Musk says he most likely has a moderate case of COVID-19, but has been getting wildly different results from different labs. The 49-year-old boss of Tesla and SpaceX tweeted his symptoms were those of a minor cold. Elon Musk explained that he feels a little up and down, and that it feels like a regular cold but more body achy and cloudy head than coughing or sneezing. On Friday, he said he was tested 4 times with the same machine and the same nurse, but 2 tests came back negative and 2 tests came back positive. He questioned the veracity of rapid antigen testing, which was used in his COVID-19 tests, and is now awaiting the results of PCR tests, which are regarded as the gold standard and the one used most around the world. Well, that's it for now, but for more news updates, stay tuned to the Nightline with Ruben Gomez at 11:30 p.m. I am Razi Ahmad for TVS. Stay safe.